A leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Yes, a man who is an ambassador of many youth, Shri Annamalai sir, well known as Singham in the country. Shri Annamalai IPS is basically a mechanical engineer and MBA from IIM Lucknow. He joined civil services in 2011 and served as ASP at Karkala, Udupi, Superintendent of Police in charge of Udupi district, Superintendent of Police at Chikmagalur, and DCP Bangalore South. He laid down his office in civil services in 2018 and dedicated himself full time in various passions and pursuits close to his heart. Today, he is known as one of the best motivational speaker in South India and the country in general. He is also an avid reader and a passionate writer. His book, The Agents of Change, How a Life in Khaki Made Me, will release this month. He is the founder and chief servant of the Leaders Foundation, which is very active in Tamil Nadu. He likes to talk to students and empower them in soft skills and life skills. His hobbies include reading Indian and world history, cycling, mountaineering, and farming. We cordially invite you, sir, for today's 12th batch of PGDM inauguration, and welcome you, sir, and over to you. Thank you.
Sir, good morning, everybody. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Professor Dr. N.R. Shetty, Chairman of NITE School of Management, Dr. M. Venugopal, Director, NITE School of Management, Dr. Nagaraj Ramrao, Chief Guest for the wonderful function that is happening today, Mr. Rohit Punja, Administrator of NET, Dr. H.C. Nagaraj, Principal of NMIT, and all the students who are joining virtually for the virtual inauguration of 12th PGDM batch 2020 to 2022. My respectful greetings to all of you. So this is a very unique inauguration ceremony, very unique inauguration ceremony. Many batches before you and many batches after you will not have a similar kind of inauguration. So one thing I can say for sure, in continuation of what Dr. Nagaraj sir excellently spoke, the next 2 years of your life, the learning that you will take from NITE School of Management, it will be completely different from the learning that your previous batches have taken, all your seniors have taken, and possibly your juniors would have taken. So maybe we are starting with a very different batch inauguration itself. The world is changing so rapidly and so fast, and things around you is also changing so rapidly, so fast. And whatever we thought impossible sometime back is being made possible now. Whatever we thought possible sometime back is being made impossible now. This is a kind of flex. The world is going through a major flex now. The last 3-4 months, we are in a major flex. This kind of flex happens once in a century. So the years that happens post the flex are the best years for any guy who wants to start new. I would probably rate your batch as the most luckiest batch. You are lucky for 2 reasons. One, you are entering into a post-graduation when the whole world is in a flux. This is fantastic because when you pass out in 2022, the whole world would be a new world that will be available in front of you. The whole concept of businesses will change. The concept of government is going to change. The concept of leadership is going to change. So it's fantastic. Possibly the next 2 years, you are probably utilizing by doing a post-graduation degree from one of Karnataka's finest, one of India's best college, that is the NITE School of Management. So I will not talk much. As a guest of honor, today, possibly I will not talk about motivation and other things. We have some other time in the next 2 years to again talk. But what I'm going to talk now, I will sketch out how the next 2 years is going to be as a management student and what you can possibly do inside your campus to fully utilize your education. Now, how the next 2 years is going to be? If you see now, this year the GDP, we are estimating it to be contracting by about 3 to 4%. Possibly after many, many years, the GDP is contracting. The industrial output will get contracted, and the joblessness might go up. So whatever the government is doing its best, these are things that is unavoidable in a major pandemic year like this. 2020 and 2021 would be a very, very tough year for a lot of people. And this is also a year when you have to redefine a lot of stuff. Till now, if you see an MBA is more like you get into an institute, study for 2 years, you race with every other person to get a placement, and without even knowing what you're going to do, we all get into a company and work for them for the next 30, 40 years. And possibly, many MBA students don't have clarity about what they want to do, because it's a mad world you are entering in, it's a mad world you are exiting. 2 years, you guys will have a real opportunity to recreate India. So this India has to be recreated. This India cannot be the same old India that was in 2000. Creation has to happen at multiple fronts. It has to. So now the businesses have to become more ethical. The businesses have to become more personal friendly. The businesses have to be more humane in their approach. The businesses have to be more environmentally conscious. That is a new 21st century business which the world will appreciate. If you see most of the startups, many of my batchmates post my MBA have started a lot of startups. I talk to every single person, they say we have fired 60% from the company, we have fired 70% from the company. Some companies have fired up to 80%. Now, these are the loyal employees who they have trusted in you, they have put their heart and soul into your company, and they have entered into your company. And what happened, one small pandemic have come, and very conveniently, we have just fired all of those people, because we tell the world this company lives for its profit line, the bottom line, the money that the company makes. That is the sole criteria in which the company is behaving now. So possibly you will be shaping up companies in the future. That company is more humane, the company more people-centered, the company in which profit is important as the people, as important as the planet. All three have to balance each other. Maybe for a change, I am talking to you sitting in my farm. You could see the background trees and whatever cultivation is happening right behind me. Because I have also done an MBA, 2010 I passed out. During my MBA, somehow I was not very clear with respect to the corporate and what I have to do. So at your age, I took a big gamble. So 2009, my first year of MBA, you all have internship. So that is the biggest gamble I took. I said, I am not sitting for internship. I told people I wanted to see what life is all about. And somehow the civil service and politics, I was very fascinated. So I told my dean, like the dean you have, the wonderful dean you have, I told my dean that I want to go and do an internship with the political party. They said, nobody has done an internship with a political party, and nobody from an IIM has done it. I said, no, sir, this is what I want to do. Kindly permit me. And I had to move all the way to Mr. Arjun Singh, who was then the Union Minister for HRD, and go and amend the Article of Association, because political internship was a no-no. I had to move the file, I had to fight it out. Then I had to do an internship with the South Indian political party based out of Tamil Nadu for about 3.5 months. That is how my internship started. And during my MBA, I made it a point to travel a lot. I travel inside UP. I saw what is happening in the society. I saw how people are living their lives. I saw how I can make a difference to their life. Then the civil service examination happened in 2010. So when I took the exam, I joined the Indian Police Service, and I continued for about 10 years. If you ask me what is the trigger point that made all of this happen, because the MBA made this happen. Because MBA is the only discipline where most of you have chosen consciously. Engineering or arts college just happens because you have passed a 12th standard exam, and it's a natural flow of life. You have gone into a college. But MBA is something which you uniquely choose, which you sit down, you realize what you have to do. I'm sure the inaugural batch, 99% of you would have chosen NITI School of Management very consciously. You would have chosen MBA course very consciously. Many people might not be forced to choose it. So which means you got to make the best use of this MBA. You got to make the best use of this MBA. It's not about studying and getting marks. That is all there in 10 good management books. If you take 2 Philip Kotlers and 8 other books, from strategy to marketing to finance, you can learn everything from it. But I personally believe an MBA is important because it gives you an opportunity to explore your life. The college library, the faculty members with whom you speak, and the projects you take. You travel across Bangalore or Karnataka. You make it a point to visit all the rural areas. You make it a point to visit all the far-flung areas. You should give equal importance in visiting a swanky campus in Bangalore. The same way, you should give an equal importance in visiting a place that is far off. Because you should see humans at their best. You should see humans at their worst. When you do all of this stuff, then fate will touch you. You got to allow fate to touch you. When fate touches you, possibly you choose a career that is closest to you. So my only hope and prayer for all the students who have joined virtually today, that the next 2 years will be the greatest experimental phase of your life. You will experiment so much. You will see people for who they are, and you will not allow the pre-decided mindset to decide how the world should be. For everything you tell me that is true, I can show you 10 things that is false. If you tell me that corporates by their nature should be profit-driven, yes, majorly, I can also show you corporates that are fantastic, that are human-centric, that puts human at the core of what they do. If you tell me that MBA is all about making money, I can show you thousands of people who have done MBAs from some of the finest colleges in India. They have chose to do something in life in which they are fundamentally changing the way human civilization is progressing. If you show me a person who says MBA is more for your personal satisfaction or egocentric, I can show you thousands of people who will tell you MBA is more about opening up who you are. So don't believe possibly what people have done before you. That is all a different part of the world. Now you people have to realize the world is different, and you are purely lucky. You are purely lucky because at 2020, at exactly the flex moment, you are getting into an education institution to study. This is the time to study. This is not the time to experiment. This is the time to understand what is right and what is wrong, how the world will shape up. So that is why I said your batch is probably the most luckiest batches in the last 2-3 generations. So fully utilize this MBA, and when you come out, make sure you create something. That could be in any field. It could be in the government field. It could be in the business field. It could be in the political field. It could be in the micro sector field. It could be in the agriculture field. But make sure you contribute something back to this nation. In the process, you make money. Nobody is saying that you shouldn't make money and you should only contribute to society. You make money by contributing and live a life that is more purposeful, that is more people-driven. So this is the first, I would not say a message. I think you are also an young person. I am also a young person. But the common connection is we both have done an MBA degree, and an MBA changed my life. I'm praying to God that your MBA should also change your life. The second point that I want to convey to you is, now as Nagaraj sir before me was hinting, possibly at the same time, your generation is one of the few generations that don't read books, that don't read stuff. For us, reading a WhatsApp message about 8-9 lines itself is a big thing daily, and we don't read much. So I would say you have 365 into 2, 730 days to do your MBA. I would request, take it as a challenge and read 100 books. You should read 100 books in 730 days. And keep a diary, keep a pen. And after 2 years, you will tell me the 100 books that you have read has changed your life completely. Because now the only business you have is studying. You don't have any other business. You got to take a book, daily spend about 3 hours, read a stuff. At the same time, go to classroom, listen to your professors, and understand where you can be better at, and finish your MBA curriculum, whatever course content you have. This 100 books, choose very wisely. These books are the books that is going to make your life. These 100 books are the books that will define who you are. These books can range from a philosophy, it can range from a beautiful literature, it can range from a business book, it can range to a sports book where the leadership is brought out. This can be in politics. The 100 books, you sit down, you choose who you are, what kind of person you are, and what kind of person you want to be. And there is a fair amount of distance you got to travel between who you are and who you want to be. This 100 books should be the gap that bridges both. Because if you don't read that, it will take ages for you to become that person. It will take ages. It might take 10 years. It might take 15 years. You got to go through the experience of life. You have to see the worst and the best of life. You got to see the worst and the best of people. The 15, 20 years of experience might make you the person you want to be. But to short-circuit that process, books are a fantastic route. So 100 books, you got to sit down. You got to believe who you are, who you want to be. And the book should act as bridge to bridge that. So 100 books, if you read it, then even after 20 years, you would say the purpose of doing an MBA is worth it. You should not say the purpose of doing an MBA is to increase your salary package. No, that is not the concept. Salary package can be increased by doing n number of things. The purpose of doing an MBA is to chisel out a better human being, who you are now and who you want to be. The 730 days, you have to sit down and chisel it daily, day by day. From morning till night, you got to chisel it. You don't have any other business except to do that now, because you possibly, all of you are at the age of 20, 21, and 22. Use this age purposefully, because you will not get this again. And at 25, 27, you will be in the life's process. You will be going through the motions of life. You will be married with children, and you'll be having n number of problems outside, EMIs and all those stuff. You might not have the 2 years again, the beautiful years again in your life to sit down and study what you want to be. So please utilize that. The third message, or maybe the conversation I want to tell all of you is, be very ethical leaders. The society needs leaders who are very ethical. The society doesn't need leaders who can speak good English, who can say, I can do this, I can do that, who can command. No, that is a World War II centric leadership. After World War II, when most of the business schools went for a very different concept, Harvard Business School is as old as 150, 160 years. When all the schools revised their curriculum majorly to keep them in tune with the post-manufacturing, with the assembly line manufacturing world, post the World War II, then MBA has taken a turn for worse. MBA hasn't taken a turn for the best. It has taken a turn for the worse because the concept of authority came in, the concept of manufacturing and concept of measuring human being came in, the concept of money came in, the concept of time and money-centric came in. All those came in after the World War II. Now, 2020 post-corona, this world is going to need leaders who are fantastic, who are ethical, and who have a lot of moral values, who will do right. They don't care what others speak about them. They don't care how the world looks at them. They don't care what people will write about them. They will only do what is right for them, what is right for the people whom they lead, and what is right for the organization which has placed their trust on this human being. So I'm sure most of the MBA curriculum, what I've read at least in 2008 and 2010, this emphasis is not there. This emphasis on moral values, emphasis on leadership, emphasis on trust is not there. I hope and pray the 2020 MBA from now on would make you fantastic leaders who are so ethical, because this country is so short of ethical leaders. We are so short of ethical leaders, and I would say very poor, because you see, biggest bank in India, private sector bank, the chairman goes to jail for doing a fraud. You ask why? Because the chairman has done an MBA like you. He has done a double MBA, has gone to a school in US. He has done a second MBA as well. And they go to fraud because one fine day they have decided that I'm going to cheat people. They keep cheating for about a year and a half, and finally the law catches with them. They go to jail. Now, is there a problem with the education? Because they've gone to some of the finest schools in the world. Is there a problem with who they are? I might not say so. I would say there is a problem with the way they have consumed education. There is a problem with the way they have seen the world. There's a problem with the way they have seen authority. There's a problem with the way they've used their authority. Now, biggest airline companies in India, some of the finest people from the world, some of the best business guys are there. But end of the day, one fine day, the whole airline collapses because the fraud after fraud happens for a long time, and they all go to jail. Again, why? The problem, we have leaders, but the problem is we don't have ethical leaders. Because the current model of MBA, it pushes you to be more competitive. It pushes you to be ultra competitive. There's a chapter in my book as well. It pushes you to be ultra competitive, and you all fight for placements. Take it from me, in the next 1 year after that, you all fight for placements. Probably I know many of you might not even talk to your roommate. Many of you might not even talk to that guy, because if you believe both of you are fighting for the same job. All this nonsense, I believe, has to end. Because MBA is not a place where they make you to run running races to see who comes first. No. MBA is a place which will help you to realize who you are. So if you apply this MBA learning to most of the businesses that have failed in India, which have intentionally failed, which have done fraud to their customers and all those people, the simple fact we can say, the leaders weren't ethical. The leaders were self-centric. The leaders were only working for their pay package. Now the next generation of leaders who have to lead our country have to be absolutely ethical, have to be absolutely clear in leading people, because the political field also needs leaders like you. 10 years from now, 12 years from now, one fine day you will decide that you'll get into politics. You will try to change the system from within. People need you. And the businesses need leaders like you. Some of the finest businesses in India are waiting for leaders like you to lead people. So I would say the third and the most important part, use this MBA to be more ethical. Use this MBA to be moral driven. Because if you see, there is a beautiful book written called What Money Can't Buy. It is written by a professor called Dr. Michael Sandel. Dr. Michael Sandel is a professor in the United States of America, and he teaches management. And I would request one of the first book you all should read is What Money Can't Buy. And Michael Sandel has also written a beautiful book on justice. And his course in where he teaches, it has got millions of viewers. It's an open course he conducts. So 2 books I think is a must read for you before you start your MBA classes. Before the real classes starts in the next 3-4 months once the corona subsides. You should read What Money Can't Buy, Hana Yeno Namaku Kodlik Agalla, and Justice. Because it will be a good grounding for you before you enter into an MBA, and then you will start utilizing the next 730 days of your life to become a better person. So I will not talk much because whatever 3 points I've spoken, it's all slightly heavy points. It fundamentally might make you to rethink who you are. And last but not the least, Harsha Bhogle, the famous cricket commentator, he said, somebody asked him what IIMs did not teach you. He studied his MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. So somebody asked Harsha Bhogle what IIMs did not teach you. He said, IIMs did not teach me to relax. And this is also one big problem with Indian management institutes, where we believe more time you keep running around, the more you can accomplish. I would say use this time also to explore your inner side, explore your spiritual side, to explore who you are by digging deep into your human mind, human psyche. So use this time also to relax, to write a book if you want, if you're having that, to do yoga. At the same time, you are caught up in a very tough curriculum. MBA is tough by its very nature, the way it is designed. Use that also. Use the time to read book. A busy man will always find time. A busy man will always find time to do yoga. A busy man will always find time to play. A busy man will always find time to read. So you should be busy bees, and you should find all the time in the world to do all the stuff you want. May God be with you. I'm seeing about 76, 80 people in this Google Meet. I'm not sure what is the batch strength of the 12th batch. I hope and pray all the 80 of you or the batch strength, whatever the number is, the God will be kind to you. You will have a fantastic time at NITE School of Management. All of you would be very healthy. That is my prayer. You all would pass out as a group, healthy, and you all would pass out as wealthy in terms of mind, in terms of what you have read, with a lot of jnana, and you all would pass out into a country that will be waiting to welcome you in 2022. That country is desperately short of moral leaders, ethical leaders, short of leaders who know who they are, so that they can lead people to where they want to go. So I thank Professor Karnagar Roy and the other professors of the NITE School of Management who gave me an opportunity to talk to you today. It's a privilege to talk to the inaugural batch. The only problem is we are doing it virtually. I would like to sit with you in the campus, talk to you, understand who you are, and then share my experience as well. So right now, post my policing stint, I've taken a shift into politics now. I've taken a shift into a foundation. So we all do. We have a lot of volunteers. We do a lot of grassroots work in Tamil Nadu. So you're most welcome to visit us as part of your curriculum, part of your school visit, college visit. So you can come and see the work that our boys do back in Tamil Nadu in terms of skilling of youth, or in terms of organizing farmers, for creating a farmers produce organization to lead India into a better time. If you ask me where did I get all that moral courage, because I've done something, quit something, doing something now, I would say it's all the MBA that gave me. The MBA gave me that platform, it gave me that courage, it gave me that vision. It told me I can't fail. I can't fail. Provided I put my heart and soul into what I'm doing, I can't fail. So that is what I'm doing now, with all the best wishes to all the people here, and to my co-speaker, Dr. Nagaraj sir, who gave an excellent chief guest address, and to the chairman, Dr. N.R. Shetty, a person whom I deeply respect and admire for the way NITE has stood. I started my career as an ASP in NITE. NITE comes from a small village called NITE near Karakala. So I've visited their engineering college. I've spoken to a lot of top people there. It's such a great college. such a great human beings they are. They keep asking, what can I give it back to society? Am I giving enough? Can I give more? That is what I call Nitte metal. The top leadership of Nitte is made up of that kind of a moral fiber. So it's a real privilege to talk before Dr. N.R. Shetty sir as well. Dr. M. Venugopal, who is the able director for the School of Management, and for all the people here. Let God be with you. Let it be a fantastic 2 years of your life. Don't even waste even a single 7:30 day. Please make sure you read 100 books. Make sure you do a lot of relaxation. Make sure you find your life's purpose. So thank you so much for the opportunity. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Annamalai sir. It was, in fact, listening to your speech is like merging and melting. You know, the message, every word can be written down. The message of 100 books in 730 days probably will go down for all time. In fact, we will invite you soon, sooner than later, to ensure that they have taken the first book. And we will ensure that they make a book talk in your presence, sir. Really, I promise. And
thank you, sir.
I am going to start another 100 books right from today, because I just love books, and I love the people who talk about books. What a great message you gave at this juncture, because you rightly said your job is to study, and don't get into anything else. This is the message that every motivation speaker like you, of course, they should follow, you should do that. I'm sure we are really blessed to have you amidst us for the kind of talk you do, because you are the person who always walks the talk. I have seen, being a part of Udupi, I have seen the way you functioned there. I was one of the deepest admirers, and I met you, and you came to our campus also. You came to engineering college also. Sir, please make it a point to come again, and as often as possible. And these 100 books assignment, we will not forget, sir. And on the day the students complete 100 books, we'll come and report you. Thank you so much, and you really made that day. You are really fantastic, sir. Great. God bless.